Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel Smiles Per Gallon. How is everybody? Hope you're feeling above average today. I'm sure you are. So I'm just out for a bit of a bez. It's Sunday, so I'm going to have a ride over to Squires and see what's kicking over there. I should imagine it gets quite big. Well, I know it gets quite busy on a Sunday, so we're going to call in. God, I'm sure people just don't open their bloody eyes. So yeah, maybe 4 to 5, maybe 6 weeks of riding this year until bad weather gets here, unless you're not just a fair weathered rider and you want to go out when it's raining. That's entirely up to you. I've done it myself a couple of times, but not much. It's not for me. I hate getting wet. So I've been to hospital today. For the regular viewers, you'll know that I've been getting this pain in my side, my left side. Sometimes it does get quite bad, so I'm on like painkillers. So I thought it was something to do with the framework in my pelvis. You know, some framework come loose or something that's made it a bit uncomfortable for me. Could be that, I don't know. Anyway, the doctors sent me to Pinderfields Hospital for a scan on my kidneys and my spleen. So I've been this morning, 11:30. Must admit I was straight in and out, to be honest, but yeah. I've asked the lady that did the scan if she can see anything, and she says all looks fine. Obviously the photographs I've got to go over to my GP so he can study them, but she says your kidneys look healthy, your spleen's fine, I can't see any fluid anywhere. She says wherever the pain's coming from, it's not your kidneys, it's not your spleen, which I suppose is good news in a sense that I ain't got kidney stones. So I know they are quite painful when you have them ultrasonic blasted. It's like somebody's ribbing you, well, somebody's punching you in the kidneys constantly. So yeah, I'm happy it's not that. So I'm moving back to when I had my accident in 2017. Now I was under the Professor Gianardis for about, I'd say 4 to 5 years before I got discharged from outpatients, which meant every 3 to 6 months I had to have an appointment with a professor who fitted the framework in my pelvis from when I broke it in my accident. When he just discharged me 2 years ago, he said, if you have any pain, any discomfort, go see a GP and ask him to refer you back to me. Now I've done this is the second time I've said I want referring back to Professor Gianardis, because it could potentially be a screw that's come loose. A screw that's come loose. I've got a few screws that are loose besides the one in my pelvis. So anyway, he said if there's a screw that's come loose, which is coming loose every time I have an x-ray, it's come a little bit loose, and he says potentially it could become uncomfortable for me. Right, so I said okay, yeah. So anyway, he discharged me, and away I went, carrying on with my life. I go to the gym, look after myself, blah blah blah. Don't drink alcohol much, although I had a couple of cans of Carlsberg yesterday with some lemonade, lager toppers as they call them. So yeah, so now I think I'm going to get my referral back to see Professor. I'm hoping I do anyway, because then at least he'll know if this screw's got to come out or all the framework's got to come out. Then I just want the pain to stop. I'm just masking it with painkillers. and it's hard sleeping on a night. That's when the pain's the worst, is on a night when I'm in bed. So I'm hoping that I get back to see him. But when it started, well, when I was working at Arriva, and I was shit, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I was working at Arriva, and I was over in Leeds town centre at South Parade, and I'm parked up waiting my time out, and I shit you not, I was in agony. Honestly, the pain was excruciating. This was the first time that I felt this pain, and it got to the point where I nearly phoned an ambulance to come and get me, and then ring work up and ask them to come and retrieve bus, because I'd got to run back from Leeds to Wakefield depot where I was based at. So anyway, I'm sat there and the turnover time were about 25 minutes if I remember right. So I'm parked up in agony thinking, what do I do? And I did the wrong thing. I decided to man up and try and get the bus back to the depot, and I'm thinking it's going to be tough this, because the route that I was on, it got a lot of turns and what have you in it. So anyway, I managed to get back to the depot. It was quite painful. I'd hardly got any passengers on. I drove really slow, a little bit laid back, because I drove extra slow because I didn't want to crash bus and, you know, put people's lives at risk. Not just my own, but other, you know, the passengers, the 3 or 4 passengers that I'd got on, because it was late at night. Anyway, I got home. I couldn't get in bed. It was that much, the pain was that excruciating that I could not even sit down at the side of my bed, let alone lay down on it. So I'd got an afternoon shift next day. Anyway, I decided, I took it upon myself to sleep on the settee, sat up, to which I did, and I woke up next day. I rung work up, told them I wasn't coming in, I told them about this pain, and I must admit they were really supportive towards me. Hello, sir. They were really supportive towards me, and said, if you need anything as to do I don't like that, you know, just come and give us a ring and let us know, which were really good of Arriva. So anyway, I rung the not 911, I rung the NHS helpline up. I can't remember the phone number, my wife knows that, I forgot. I rung the NHS phone line up and spoke to this lady. She was a nurse, and she said, I think you could potentially have kidney stones. So she advised me to drink loads and loads of water. So I did. I drank loads and loads of water. And a few days later, I stopped taking painkillers, and it went away. The pain went away. So I thought, yeah, great, it must be kidney stones. So if I'm drinking water, I potentially could have flushed them through. A few months went by, kept getting odd twinge here and there, and then the pain actually come back a few months ago, but it's not as bad as it was. It's just this like ache, but it's enough to like not, you know, you can't sleep with it. It's that uncomfortable that you can't sleep. Hello. So yeah, so I decided to get to the doctors and get it sorted. About a year ago, when I asked to go see a professor, and they won't refer me back to him. They said, well, do these tests first before we go to that extreme. But I've got a funny feeling at this time that they're going to let me go see him. Like I said, if it is this screw that's come loose, I want it taken out. I want this pain to stop. I want to get back to normal things, rather than, you know, when I'm putting my socks on and stuff like that. It seems to hurt. So anyway, yeah, I'll tell you what, let's pull in here and have a walk round bike. Let's have a walk around the KTM. I've cleaned her up. She's come up an absolute treat, honestly. Cleaned out wheels, cleaned it. I've given it a polish, and I've used this ceramic coating. I don't know what's that before, a bit of a scuff there. I actually thought about getting some new graphics for here. I've seen a few kits that are about 70 quid. I don't know yet though. I've put the exhaust back on as well, the standard exhaust, because the other one was a bit noisy, a bit loud, a bit too much, and it started feeling as it was lacking a bit of power as well. Although I've got on it today and it just seems the same, and it sounded like my father told me when he was behind me, it sounded like I could hit a piston slapping to the top of head. So I decided to put that one back on, because I couldn't suss out. I need to suss out to put baffles in it, and I'll probably put the other one on because it's a bit lighter. So there you are. Get them wheels gleaming now, aren't they? So it's all been ceramic coated and everything, so it's come up a bit of a treat. Right, come on, let's have a carry on to Squires, because I am gagging for a drink. Should I push back and have a Cornish pasty as well? There you go. Yeah, there seems to be more power as well with this standard exhaust, which is a bit crazy, but that's how it is. South Milford police speed check area, so we'll go nice and steady. Watch these speed bumps, because I'm nearly bloody high-sided bike, missing one of them other week. Ooh, my eye lights come on. Let's get off. Does that now and again when you're at low revs. But I've checked oil and oil's fine, so it might just be a KTM faulty sensor. Yeah, we were in Squires the other week and this guy pulled out one of them 1290 Dukes, brand new 23 plate. It was, oh god. Oh. It was like a car enthusiast seeing a Ferrari, honestly, Ferrari Enzo. I mean, we know riding bikes is a dangerous game, alright mate? We know riding bikes is a dangerous game, and people say, why do you do it? And it's because, you know, to feel the power of a sports car, of an hypercar, to do it on two wheels, it's immense. Now, don't get me wrong, in a sports car is great as well, because you get sucked back into the seat, and I've had a few fast cars in my time as well. But you're biking, you've got all that, right? You've got all this fresh air around you, and you sat down and just watching the world pass. You've got more of a view, you can smell the fresh air. Oh, it's just great. You're at one with your thoughts, you just drift away miles. I know you've got to have your wits about you, but that's just part and parcel of being a biker. I think you've got to have your wits about you when you're driving a car as well. It's just you've got to be a little bit more, well, you've got to be a lot more careful, I suppose, when you're on a bike. Now, a bit of a shout out as well to Wakey Two Wheels. He's got a cracking channel, only small like me, only a smallish channel, just started, hasn't been doing it long, but he puts a lot of effort into his content, and I'm really impressed with what he puts out. You know, he must do a lot. He does a lot for his channel, and get yourself over to see him. I'll put a link up there. Wakey Two Wheels. Gentleman, I think he rides a BMW 650 GS, I think, and he goes all over, does visiting biker cafes. And his last video, we went to Squires and did a camp out because he's wanting to do some camping trips. So He did a camp out video at Squires just to test his equipment out, and then he'll be moving further afield as he progresses. So Wakey Two Wheels, carry on with your good content, buddy, and hope to bump into you one day, maybe even go out for a ride. No matter what bike you ride, whether it be a scooter even, I get scooters nodding at me, and I'm not always nod back, I'm polite, I'm like that. Cruisers, BMWs, look these guys on classic bikes even nodding to somebody that's on like a new bike, do you know what I mean? I think it's great. It's like you're a big massive family, even if you don't know the person that's next to you or that's in front of you or that's behind you, you feel like you know them, you know, because you've got the same interest. You know how they feel, you know how good they're feeling when they're out on the machine just having a ride. And it's not about going fast. It's great to go fast here, and I get that adrenaline rush as well, and you know, you feel so alive. You feel so alive when you're riding fast. But when you've got family at home as well, it's and you've been through what I've been through, and it's not just me being through it, there's other people that have as well, so I'm not saying that, but it tends to slow you down a bit, and you start thinking about who you could potentially be leaving behind. And so yeah guys, while you're out there, just ride safe. I can hear it Terminator music, dun 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 dun. Can hear it playing in background. Give me your clothes, your boots and your motorcycle. Bloody hell. Jam rackety doodad. Oh, look at this. Steam engines. How cool's that? That is cool. Oh, the big brother there. Christ, it's packed, isn't it? Whoop.